You're listening to The Parallel Paths, a podcast designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit so that you can get everything you want out of life. The only question is, are you ready?
Do you have a business or looking to start one? Establishing your online presence is key. Bluehost makes it quick and easy to get your website up and going, making it an ideal solution for beginners with its fast loading speeds and variety of features. Powering over 2 million websites, Bluehost offers a full range of hosting services, SEO, and much more, all at budget-friendly prices. Sign up today for web hosting as low as $3.95 per month. Click our link in the show notes for instant access to this incredible deal.
So welcome back to the Parallel Paths podcast. I'm your co-host, Makeda Moore.
I'm your other co-host, Blair McClendon.
And to keep with the theme of healing the Black community, we wanted today to talk about another healing practice, but we're doing it from a lighter note because we know we've been talking about a lot of heavy topics this season. So we wanted to do something a little bit lighter today, but also is on the whole line of healing the Black community. So we're going to be talking about entheogens.
For sure.
Blair, what are entheogens?
So an entheogen is a chemical substance typically of plant origin that is ingested to produce a non-ordinary state of consciousness for either religious or spiritual purposes. And these things include cannabis, mushrooms, DMT, coca leaves, and the list keeps going on.
Okay, so it's a plant, any plant that comes from the earth that has spiritual or healing,
Can be used for spiritual or religious purposes. Of course, you know, things like cannabis, those are consumed recreationally as well. But
question, do you think that has any reason to do with the reason that cannabis wasn't legalized because it's an entheogen and it has those abilities?
Yeah, I think if not abused and taking it in the right way, like let's say if you were to either ingest it or smoke before a spiritual practice like meditation or yoga, that's a whole different experience, and you really do open up your consciousness. So I definitely believe that's one of the reasons. And then of course with like shrooms and DMT, the other stuff that you hear like Mike Tyson and Joe Rogan talking about on their podcast that they do on the regular, is it's not widely available for a reason. I don't think they want people to know where the true source and where their power actually lies.
Mm-hmm. Because when they do that, then
it's a wrap.
Them no longer is acceptable.
It's a wrap. I mean, you wake up, you see through the smoke and mirrors, so it's a wrap.
Yeah. So it started making me think of like the whole culture of microdosing now. I hear a lot of people microdosing. So that means they're taking, rather than taking a large amount of entheogen, a relatively large amount, that would make them like high and maybe, you know, not able to like, you know, be functional. They take very small amounts as a way to kind of keep that openness. But I don't know, I've never done microdosing, so I'm trying to explain it. But have you ever done it?
I've microdosed with cannabis before, but not any mushrooms.
So what did a microdose of cannabis look like?
For me, it's more so like, let's say if you have a bowl and like you just hit it once or twice, like over, let's say 4-6 hour periods throughout the day, like just very light, like just a couple taps, something to give you a light buzz, like not anything to make you super high or anything, but I would say that. And then I also actually just got some, I guess it would be a concentrate of mushrooms, but it's like lion's mane,
I think I've heard of that. That's
and a
good
few
for brain
other.
repair.
Yeah, it's like
Neurogenesis.
neurotropics. Yeah, so like that, I guess if you count that as microdosing, because it's a couple dropperfuls, and you do notice a difference. Like I feel like a little bit more upbeat, a little bit lighter, like just a little bit carefree. So
Send me the link to that.
I got you.
Wait, is that legal?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need something like that.
That's not an entheogen. That's not gonna make you hallucinate or really alter your consciousness or anything. I just threw that in there.
But isn't
But it's a
consciousness
type of
still,
mushroom. It's a different one though.
but it's still altering your consciousness in that you're feeling better than you were before you took it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I feel like it's more so like, yeah, I guess that will be altering your conscious. But I was gonna say like unlocking different parts of your brain that aren't normally there.
Mm.
So yeah, that is. But it's more so just like it gives you like a natural dopamine. Like it's the good chemicals that are gonna elevate your mood.
So this is basically, they say that we only use a certain amount of our brain. So this is allowing you to tap into the rest of it.
I'm not an expert on it, but
That's what it sounds like.
I definitely think it unlocks more and more of your brain. Like I mean, even with cannabis, like my I just feel like awareness in general is a lot higher. And if you actually pay attention to it, you can start to really unlock some stuff. Um, and with shrooms, like I tried it twice. Once I didn't get the trippy effects like on Makeda's background. It was just like a blissful type of feeling. I don't think I took enough. And then the second time I tried it, I took the full trip. And it was dope. But like for me, again, you go into it with good energy. It was a good experience, but again, a lot of more so for me, a lot of confirmations
Mm.
were had during that time. I can't say I had any revelations or like anything new come. It was just more so like, okay, this is what I had kind of figured, had kind of experienced through meditation and some other things. Like it was like that.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. I think the closest I've been to that feeling was, um, or actually, so I had a few friends who did what's called bouffon. Is that what it's called?
I
What is
don't
it?
know
The
the
frog
full
thing?
term. I know. I just know it's the frog.
Okay, so it's
The
basically
bouffon.
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 um, there's this frog that has this poison on its back, and the poison, when it is absorbed into your system, causes like the same type of psychedelic experience where people describe feeling a sense of oneness. They said it was about a 15-minute like ride, I guess. And they were led by a shaman. And for 15 minutes, they just had this really, one person I talked to, this really deep feeling of oneness. And like, I was like, oh, that sounds nice. Because I feel like
Yeah.
that's what we're all reaching for, is understanding that we all are one. And if you can remember that more often, it'll affect how you do things in everyday life. So if you had a common, like if you truly believed and knew and felt that we were all one, your life would be so amazing. I mean, it already is amazing, but
Yeah, and that's kind of what the shrooms did for me. It just kind of confirmed like everything is energy. Like, I mean,
so if
from
you
the stuff that you,
microdose on shrooms, will you operate from that perspective all throughout your day if you microdose on shrooms? Like that feeling of
I
oneness?
don't know. I have no idea. I got to try it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Um, I do after hearing like the stories of like the ayahuasca and like DMT and stuff from most times a celeb, like I said, a Joe Rogan or Mike Tyson. Those are two who I listen to a lot.
Yeah.
But after hearing their experiences and how peaceful they are after the lives that they lived as fighters and stuff like that, that's incredible to me. Like, I mean, especially Mike Tyson, he's one of the dopest people to truly like kind of follow like his story and like where he started to where he is now. Like it's incredible. And like just the knowledge and the gems that he drops from his experiences on Entheogens is next level.
And it's sad because I feel like a lot of people still look at Mike Tyson and can't even see and understand what he's talking about, like how deep this man is.
Again, people judging in the exterior, not truly getting to know a person. He's dope. That's all I can say. He's dope. That's the person who I would want to meet. I would not mind meeting Mike. But I was about to ask you something.
Oh, so I haven't done DMT, but I've done, which is what will be the entheogen form, right? DMT is natural, right? Is that from a plant?
I don't know how DMT.
Because I know
Dimethyltryptamine is. I almost think they get that from a frog too. Why should I know all this? I haven't done it all.
No, I said I should know because I just taught. I'm a drug ed counselor.
For me, it's more so. These are things that our ancestors were doing. This is how they were tapping in on a different
there was
level.
a whole bunch of mushrooms in the Bible pictures.
Cannabis, all that. Like, I mean, there's a book I got, The Great Book of Hemp, and it breaks down basically like just different stories and stuff throughout history where like hemp and cannabis and stuff was used. So, I mean, it's an incredible plant, especially just hemp itself, but
you were so passionate about cannabis.
because it honestly healed me, like from a pain perspective and what I was dealing with on a digestive level. CBD and THC, next level. Next level. Like that's God's herb. That's exactly what I call it. So that's why when I say like I don't care what they label as a drug and all that stuff, like I know what it is.
You know what's funny? I went to this seminar one time where they were presenting supposed to be research on the effects of cannabis and like, is it a more harmful thing? One of the topics was like, is cannabis more harmful than opioids? And it's like, so basically they presented, it was so funny to sit in the audience, like just like watching certain people look around because they presented all this evidence saying that cannabis was bad and it had all these potential side effects that it could be worse than opioids. People were looking around like, what? Is this like empirical?
Insane. Like, I mean, you take an opioid, that's literally eating at your stomach lining. So I already had a digestive issue and you're giving me a narcotic that's going to eat away at my stomach lining. Like you're creating a deeper issue. So again, like I tell everybody, don't even take what I'm saying as fact. Go look it up, experience stuff, like try things out. That's what we're here for on this plane, to try things. This is literally a temporary experience where we're just collecting data and then we're out of here. So experience some stuff, try some things out, question everything.
Yes, question things like, and yes, things like, I feel like a lot of us are afraid to try new things because, and we also will take in there that we already made up our mind about it. So then we go in there and we do end up having a negative experience. So a lot of these entheogens is based off of your
Better
mind.
be having good energy.
Yeah, you have to have, from what I hear, like it's the energy you have is going to affect your experience. So yes, you might have had a bad time with weed before it made you feel a certain way. It was because that's the energy you brought in. If you went in with an intention of finding peace or understanding or whatever it is, that herb, that's why they're from the plant, they're intelligent, they're part of us. They communicate with you and they give you that space to get what you need from them, from what I hear.
For sure. And it'll definitely bring up, I mean, this is even with cannabis, but like it'll bring up the shadow side of you. It'll bring up areas that you need to improve and you become a lot more aware. So it's really up to you. Are you going to take the cues and proceed with them, or just gonna shrug it off? Because you'll definitely be aware of what you need to do.
Mm-hmm. So I think with other entheogens like ayahuasca, mushrooms, the frog thing, versus weed. 'Cause I feel like when people smoke weed, most people, they're just doing it to see it's high. Like, why are you smoking so much? Like you're smoking to get higher than high. And at some point, is that ineffective? Like, is it a waste to keep smoking?
I think for everybody it's different. I can't answer that. I can only speak for how I consume and how I use it. So for me, like, yeah, it can be like if I smoke too much, then like, yeah, I can't do nothing right now. Like, I mean, just chill. But like, again, that's part of the experience. Like,
Mhm.
if you want to be on the moon with Buddy back there, like, that's what you want to do. But like for me, I I've used it in several different applications. So, like I said, even with like meditating or doing yoga or something like that, something where I can truly tap in, it's a
Mhm.
next level experience for me. So, I I appreciate it differently. Even
I
like I
was gonna
said,
say,
so
you know what I thought about? So, like, okay, let's say you and somebody you're with, you guys are smoking weed. Because that weed, all that plant, I mean, everything is one, but because those plants came from the same, like she smokes it, hits it, you smoke it, you hit it. Wouldn't there still be a collective consciousness between the smoke that you guys both inhaled? So that way, I don't know if this is like too abstract. When you guys are having sex, there's a deeper communication because it's like so much shared on both sides. Like you're in a shared consciousness because of
that's some high thoughts right there.
it.
That's some high thoughts right there. You might be on.
I'm glad you went there with me.
Hey, I feel it because I mean, all being one anyway. And I was actually just listening to Sadhguru talk about physical relationships and like how the body is literally just stored memory. So with you having a sexual interaction with somebody, that's a physical exchange of energy. So even with cannabis, like, and you talking about you actually smoking it, that's another physical stored memory. And then, like you said, of a shared substance, I could see where you're coming from. That's legit thinking, Miss Moore.
Thank
I
you.
like it. Oh, and then for everybody out there, for a deeper look on entheogens, KT the Arts Degree has an incredible episode, probably like an hour and 15 minutes, where he takes a tremendous dive into everything. So any questions and any surface level stuff that we're talking about that might spark some ideas within you, go to his page. I think you might can find it on Black Magic 363's YouTube channel as well. But KT the Arts Degree talking about entheogens, that's a dope episode.
Yep. Shout out to KT because it was listen to the whole thing.
Facts.
Yeah.
He put me on game on a lot of stuff. I put him in that same breath with like Dr. Sabi. This is a young Sabi to me.
Hey.
Um, Even Dr. Laila Africa, like between those three, helping me get my own health in order,
Mm,
gotta give a big shout out to them.
mm. We'll definitely put the links in the show notes to check them out as well. All right, so we talked about weed, we talked about shrooms, we talked about Buffon. And other, are there any other big entheogens you can think of that?
I mean, they always talk about ayahuasca.
Oh yeah, I
But
forgot
again, like these are the
about
things like I haven't experienced, so it's kind of hard for me to speak on them. But shoot, if I was in that part of the world where they're doing that, and I have like a true shamanistic experience, I'm with it.
yeah,
Yeah,
we should
why
plan one
not?
for like 5 years.
Could do that.
So ayahuasca. So I first heard about ayahuasca from Joe Rogan, of course. But also I was hearing a lot of like leaders, a lot of conscious mind leaders talking about ayahuasca. And I'm just like, I feel like eventually, when I'm in a place where I'm ready for action and I'm like free of any kind of ties to any, work or anything like that would be a time where before I enter into a new creative zone in my life, when I really start producing products, that would be something that I would do before. And probably before kids too.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's
Yeah,
gonna open me up so much that I'm gonna need to have my resources and everything set and ready to like be able to hit the ground running.
Dang, that's some crazy intuitive nature right there. Like you already know what time it is.
Yeah. So
All right.
yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
No, well, I'll say this because the reason, so I haven't done any of these, but I've done a breathwork workshop where
breath work can take you there too. I've done some breathwork meditation where I wasn't here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because what breath work does is that it activates the DMT in your lungs that occurs naturally in your lungs. So it's like taking DMT, but it's just from you breathing a certain way. I
Yeah.
remember the first time I did one, I was the person in the beginning of the class. They were like, "So have you done breath work before? Raise your hand." I'm like, raise my hand. I was like, "So I've done breathing before." And I had not done breath work. We were like going through this like spiritual war zone, and we arrived at bliss, and like people were screaming, people were crying, I was crying, like it was wild for breathing. Like we were in a different dimension.
That yeah, that's one thing I can definitely tell people. It's an emotional ride. Like for the most part, it's pretty blissful, but like it's definitely moments where like you purge
Yes.
whatever you
Purge,
holding in,
about.
purging. Like yeah, it's
You
coming
have to
out.
let it
So
go, so you can't resist
yeah,
the purge. You just gotta.
it's just about surrendering, being one. Um, and it's dope. Like I mean, you feel so like liberated and uh, I don't know, just free afterwards. Like especially with that breath work thing, I did one. And honestly, I don't know how long it was. It was at least an hour and a half, I believe, maybe even 2 hours. But like you were so gone, like there was no time. It You wouldn't have cared. You were out of here. And I remember they kept playing like different music in the background that would elicit different emotions.
Mm.
And I had a couple friends do it with me, and this was sometime early in the quarantine. And afterwards, they were like, "Yo, appreciate you putting me on that. Like that was life changing."
Mm.
And like even doing it for me, like I mean, you might just break down crying, and and then you purge that away, and then once you get up, like you're just almost like a feather. I've had that experience with hot yoga before. Thought I was
Hot
finna die
yoga.
in there. Yeah, but like just being able to sweat out all toxins and
Mm.
really test yourself physically. I think that one was probably another hour and 15, and it was like 95, 98 degrees or something like that in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and outside was probably like 45. So when I walked out, all that fresh air, fresh cold air hitting my body was
Mm.
like pure air just flowing through you. Like it was crazy. I
I
couldn't even
never. That's
explain it.
funny. Like because I love hot yoga. Like that was when I first got into yoga. That was the first class I took. People like, dang, like that was the first class you took. It was like, because
Yeah,
it was
you
the hot
wild for
yoga.
that. Shout out to you.
But it felt so good. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So like, but I didn't really recognize the purge. Even though I knew it felt good, I didn't realize it was such a purge. And I think if I would have realized that, I would have definitely stuck with it a lot more. And now I'm just like, damn it, there's no hot yoga right now. But hot yoga is
Yeah, I've only done it that one time, but I want to go back. And I mean, of course, I do regular yoga, and living in Florida, I can go outside and do hot yoga if I want. But that time, like, if I could recreate that, like in the winter where it's a little bit cooler, and you know you're gonna just like go outside and completely flip the temperature, I'm down to do it because that was amazing.
Yeah. I was thinking about a product, a hot yoga, a hot yoga box that people have in their house, like almost like a little sauna, but because I definitely need hot yoga in my house wherever I'm at, just to be able to sit, or just it's probably just a steam room and you just do yoga in it.
Yeah,
That's such a good way to cleanse, like just to draw stuff out of your system like that.
for real. I had no idea how powerful it was. I went with my cousin, and most of the time, like if I've actually gone to a yoga class, it's been with her. Shout out Ariel. But we went, and she told me to hydrate beforehand. That's why I said you wild for that being your first time, but shout out to you.
I knew to hydrate though.
I mean, I had been hydrating. I even brought water with me, and it still wasn't enough. So I was like,
You had to step out.
Next time I'm like, yo, I got to drink like a couple gallons of water before I go in. I remember, like, that's the thing too. Like for me, this might be a little TMI, but like, I don't like wearing clothes in there, man. Like, it's so hot. It's so hot. So like you with all these other people, it's like, bro, I really want to be just in my birthday suit right now, but I can't.
You're doing that in some country.
And I don't know if I'm taking that class because I'm not trying to see everybody like that.
Oh,
but, yeah, I'm straight.
Just Blair, everybody else is fully clothed.
Yeah, like I don't even want everybody else looking at me. That's what I'm saying. Like the personal one in your house, like that would be legit. But it's so hot. Like I literally would probably just have on some like compression pants or something like that. Like very light compression pants, like the cool ones. That's it. Like it's too hot. It's so hot. So for those of you out there thinking about it, bring a lot of water, drink a lot before you go.
Yeah.
And bring a towel.
Oh my God, yeah.
A few towels.
Ugh,
put a towel on your mat.
Some of the guys,
you're gonna be sweating.
They like to see how much they sweat. That's another gross thing about doing it for other people. Is you just like not care about germs, because some people be sweating so much it will like splash on you. Like I feel like right now they definitely got more people spread out if they are doing classes. But yeah, some people they sweat a lot. Like I love to sweat, like I sweat a lot, but some people sweat so much. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a true detox. Like if you feeling trash and your body hurting, or you just feel like you got some parasites or some trapped toxins in your blood that you need to get out, go do some hot yoga.
And right now, if you can't do hot yoga, like literally if you take a hot bath, because of essence salt in there, like you'll sweat. It'll get you, at least from here up, you'll be sweating. But yeah, sweating is so good. Okay. I was about to wrap up the episode unless you had any other entheogens that we didn't cover.
Nah, I didn't have a running list. We just wanted to talk about it broadly. Like I said, for a deeper dive and a more educated perspective of it, KT, the arts degree, got everything you need. This is some rookie experience on this side. So again, like I said, if it's something you're curious about, try it. We're not recommending nothing that's finna kill you. Not at all. Nothing chemically induced, like none of that. For me, I only like natural organic things from the earth. So if it's from Mother Nature, let's see what's up.
Right. There's so much in nature for us. And as a reminder, if you are gonna, use these entheogens, make sure that you go in with a good headspace. You're surrounded by the right kind of people. If you're with other people, definitely do your research on how to have a good experience before you just dive in there. And let us know about it too. Put comments, let us know your experience. We would love to hear from you. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to the Parallel Paths podcast and like this video and share it with your people. And yeah.
Peace.
Hey, Parallel Podcast listeners. Don't forget to check out our own personal brands. If you're looking to learn more about mindfulness, mindset, and meditation, catch me live on Instagram every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or schedule a free one-on-one consult with me. All that information is in the link in my bio at Makeda Smiles. Also, if you're looking for anything health and wellness related, check out Blair's Instagram at 3 Layers of Wellness for links to his website and resources. And for all my Floridians, don't forget to check out bonafidefla.com. That's BONAFIDEFLA.com for all things Florida. You can find all of this information in the show notes as well. Now back to the show.